Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I want to share with you guys this Witchfire Warlock build that I have come up with over on Last Epoch. We were playing it yesterday for about 12 hours straight on the launch. We were streaming all of it, and we will be streaming again right after this video over at twitch.tv/Augiesaint. So drop on by, come ask me some questions, or even educate me on how I could make this build better, as this is the first time I'm actually playing Last Epoch. I'm one of them Diablo 4 refugees, so it's kind of cool to actually play the game, and it's really exciting. I really am enjoying it so far. But after my 12 hours of playing, this is where I ended up with this build. I just want to get it out there to share my experience with you guys and show you what I've come up with. This will be like a part 1, and we'll do like a better version, like a more in-game version of this build. So I'll talk about some stuff and what I am actually using. The build is very strong. Well, it feels very strong. I've never really played anything else, so I don't know what it compares to. But I'm basically focusing around the Witchfire dot and just dots in general with necrotic damage, fire damage, damage over time. We're just putting down fishes, and then we're cursing everything, and then we're chaos bolting everything. Everything's just melting all around the place. It's a really fun playstyle, and I really enjoy it. So I want to share that with you guys in this video. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it now, shall we? So the skills and specializations, I am actually using these 4, I would say, are mandatory, or these 4 are the 4 that I've been using the most. And then this one I've been kind of switching in and out the whole time. My Q, as you can see, it's only level 11. I've been switching it in and out, trying to figure out what actually fits really well with the build. For leveling, I was using Rip Blood in my Q, but now I don't need it anymore, as I barely ever use it with all my dots and all the other stuff happening. So Q, really, it's up to you what you want to put in there. But if you are leveling, I could highly suggest Rip Blood, and the Summon Bone Golem were very strong throughout my leveling process while I was doing the campaign. So do keep those in mind, as well as the Summon Skeletons. All of that pretty strong. But then what I did end up with was Bone Marrow, or Bone Curse, as our big AoE curse. It does a whole lot of other stacking debuffs and stuff, which we'll get into once we go specialize in it. And then we are using Chaos Bolt as well over there. It's like our kind of our single target nuke. It does fire damage and necrotic damage, which we are stacking both. And it kind of synergizes well with some of our other stuff, like our Fisher as well, which also does crazy fire damage, necrotic damage. Really fun skill to use. And then last but not least, we have our movement skill, Transplant. Really fun, just jumping around the place. It actually does a lot of damage as well. You just have to be near for it to actually work, and it is physical damage. So now let's have a look at the trees. Now these trees are very not optimized. Like I said, it's my first time playing. This is version 1 of the build. You saw in the intro of the video, it actually does quite good. I mean, I don't know how good it is compared to something else, but it's good for me. It kills stuff, does stuff fast, and it has a lot of lifesteal, so I like it. So we got to be a slow with 3. This is actually pretty good, the mana efficiency. I would actually say to pick up 1 point there and then max this out, maybe. Or even 2 points. I don't really have mana problems at all. But these 2 points, I don't feel like they are that important. Although there is some stuff further down in the tree that does benefit from frozen chance or chill chance on enemies. So this could actually be pretty worth it in the long run. I'm still undecided on whether I want to keep those or not. And then down over here, this I would say is mandatory. Get this as much as you can. Put all the points into there. Just increasing the area of it, so you have to cast it less often, because obviously you'll have a bigger area, so it's going to hit all the enemies. And over here, that has a chance to shred enemy armor, so really good over there. And there it has another chance to give you bone armor on kill from the enemies. And over there, once that effect triggers with Bone Feast, you'll actually get heals from that. So when like you decrease enemies armor with that, and then there it has a chance to shred and give you the armor, and then has a chance to heal you. So just really good overall on that. And yeah, that's basically what we got going for that curse. And then we move over here to our Chaos Bolts. Now this is like your big single target damage. It's not crazy damage, but it is pretty good, and it's going to fuel a lot of our other things as well. So up there we go for cast speed, projectile speed, just good to have. Over here, I just started putting points into this. This gives you more damage and hit damage to cursed enemies. All enemies will be cursed, so obviously we're going to be pumping our points into that. And then this I did pick up earlier on while I was actually using Rip Blood. It like auto cast Rip Blood for you sometimes when you hit Chaos Bolt. But I might actually just drop that now and respec it and take the point out to put it somewhere else, because I'm obviously not using Rip Blood anymore. And then we actually went down the right side here for health gain against cursed enemies, as well as mana gain. So when you hit people that are cursed, you gain health and mana. Really good. Over there, it increases the curse duration of all your curses when you hit, and you also gain health again. And then this one over here, when you cast Chaos Bolts against a cursed enemy, it casts your Bone Curse at their location. It has a 6-second cooldown, so it's not going to spam all the time. This actually kind of feels pretty weak, so I might actually drop this, but I might drop both of these points. Maybe just put them over there into more damage. And over there, we got Chaos Bolts to inflict enemies with Damned. And the reason we have that is for this over here. Chaos Bolts deal more damage multiplicative to damned, ignited, bleeding, and frostbitten enemies. And that's why I said frostbitten. Maybe it's not good, maybe it is, because you get it from there with the free stuff. Maybe, maybe not. If they're frozen, then you get some more damage. Bleeding, we have bleeding in another skill tree. We have fire damage, we have necrotic, we have ignited, and then obviously we have damned being applied by your chaos bolt. So just like more stacks of multiplicative damage, so really, really strong overall. Over there we get chaos bolts deal more damage over time, equal to a portion of your missing health. So not the greatest, but not terrible. I mainly picked it up for the burn over here, so it increases the duration of your fissures when you actually do use chaos bolts. And then up here we just have some more ignite chance, and over there we've covered everything. Okay, so moving on to the fissure. Now this one actually does pretty much the most damage in the build. We go over there, grab some more flat damage. Over there we got some ignite chance just to add some more ignite stacks for our overload, which I'll get to once we get to the talent tree. And over here, this is what I started going into recently. Torment lasts longer, and ignite, poison, and bleeding inflicted by fissure also last longer. So all of the debuffs and stuff last longer. That just gives you a nice little duration increase on all the debuffs, but most of the time the enemies die before it matters anyway, so maybe drop that point and put it somewhere else. And over here we go for fissure fire damage on hit. Over there we have maximum targets for the fissure spreads ignite stacks. It's really good to spread ignite stacks so we can actually get the overlord and the overload with the ignite overload and the flame whip and all that stuff, which I'll cover in the skill tree. And yeah, the fissure's initial hit now deals additional spell damage with higher chance to stun per ignite chance, and obviously we'll have a lot of ignite, so you might just get a little bit of stunning over there for some CC and crowd control in the higher up level stuff. Grasp of the Undying over there for some direct damage on the burns, and Eradication just makes you do more damage to rares and bosses, so increasing your single target damage. And then over here we have the mana cost reduction, which is really good over there. And we move over to the Spirit Gale to give you tormented enemies die. They have a chance to release the spirit and inflict torment on other enemies within 8 meters, and obviously that does go back over there again with the torment and everything. So it kind of works all together. And over here we have necrotic res stack, so the enemy gets reduced necrotic resistance to make your necrotic damage do more damage, as well as your fire damage. They have reduced resistance over there, so you're doing more necrotic and fire damage, which the build is based on. And this point I didn't quite understand it correctly, but this is a wasted point. Take that out, as I am actually not using the Infernal Shade. But if you are using the Infernal Shade, maybe you can play around that point, as it does make your Infernal Shade like instantly explode and deal all of its damage. And last but not least, we move over to our Transplant, just our movement skill over there. I've got the haste on the right there, just giving you some haste and frenzy. And then over here we have the cast speed and the cooldown. Over there we have it costs less health. Then over here we have it giving us armor and damage reduction, which I feel is really, really strong. Over there it's increasing the effectiveness of the bone armor. Over there as well, bone armor lasts longer. So really just using this as a defensive movement skill. And over here it deals damage in a larger area, but that you don't really need that. I'm just playing around with skills and stuff. But I would definitely say these are all pretty important, this side of the tree, and then haste as well, just to increase your attacks and everything like that. So that is what we have for those and the specs. Now let's actually have a look at our tree, if I can remember which button it was. So you do need to start out in Acolyte, and you'll move over to Warlock later. And I have played around with these a little bit. I think there could be still some more tweaking to actually get these set up better. You do need to have 20 points in Acolyte to unlock a lot of stuff that we want over in the Warlock tree. So just remember that. We've gone with 8 points over there to increase damage and minion damage. The minion damage doesn't matter, we're just picking up for the damage. And over here we have more increased damage, but you start losing a little bit of health. Does really not matter, as you just regen it all back over time. And over here we have some armor again, some more defense over there. And then I have 1 point over here to give you ward on enemy kill, even though it is only a 10% chance. And then over there, ward retention. I mainly have this over there for the necrotic res and the poison res, as it is a double resistance, and you do need to try to cap out your resistance eventually. So we picked that up over there for the double res. These 2 points I would say is pretty much put them wherever you want, or do whatever you want with them. Like this one's also pretty good. You get necrotic res and intellect, but you just need to have at least 20 points in your Acolyte tree to actually get down to the stuff I want in the Warlock tree. So coming onto the Warlock tree, this is where the magic happens. Now we have over there increased damage over time and health. Then all of these have like a little 5-point bonus. If you have 5 points into them at least, they'll unlock that little secondary bonus underneath. You deal more damage over time, multiplicative to cursed enemies. So that is a lot of damage that you're getting added on top of that, because pretty much all the enemies are cursed. And then this one over here, Chaos Flames. Now this is massive, increases your fire damage, ignite chance, necrotic damage, and dam chance with necrotic skills. So that is a lot of extra damage, and just your ignite stuff, and makes it everything spread and make it a lot easier with the build. Then we pick up 5 points in Soul Stealer, mainly for the 5-point bonus for the mana regen, as well as, you know, increasing your mana regen, giving you cooldowns, stuff like that. You gain a chance per curse on the enemy to gain mana on hit. So really good to just help you with your mana regen. And then over here on Oculus Mind, we're picking this up there to get some more mana regen per points of intellect. You obviously need 5 to unlock the bonus. Then we move on over to Spirit Leech. Now this one will give you health leech and health leached against cursed enemies. So just another way of staying alive. Then we have again another 5 points for the ignite chance, but again for the 5-point bonus. When you cast a fire skill and enemies within 50 meters have a combined 25 or more stacks of ignite, you strike up to 3 nearby ignited enemies with Flame Whip and gain Ignite Overlord. Now that Ignite Overlord then helps you proc some other stuff. If we move up to here, increase your necrotic damage, your elemental damage, and then also the 5-point bonus. When you gain Ignite Overlord or Damned Overlord, all ignited and damned enemies within 15 meters are inflicted with Witch Fire. So I'm going to assume Witch Fire does a lot of damage, as everything seems to die really fast when I am burning them away. Then we got down here again, increasing your fire damage. While you have Ignite Overload and you kill an ignited enemy or hit an ignited boss with a rare enemy, you cast Flame Whip at a nearby enemy. So Flame Whip just like sends these whips out, smacking everybody, setting them all on fire. Just really fun and chaotic. And then over here we have the Grimhild's Domain, and Witchfire that you inflict deals more damage with other modifiers per global chance to ignite with fire skills and per global chance to ignite damned with necrotic skills. Additionally, while you have Ignite or Damned Overload, your hits spread Witchfire to a number of enemies within 10 meters. More Witchfire damage, more Witchfire damage, and more Witchfire damage. And it's actually spreading your Witchfire and everything, so it just works really strong, and I like how this works. It seems to be working pretty good, burning everything and keeping me alive. And then what I was thinking of actually speccing into is Lich over here. Where is it? Somewhere there's like health spell. Yeah, this one. Spell damage leached as health. So I was thinking of actually picking up these if you need some more survival. Actually put some points over there into survival of the Cruel. But right now I don't actually need more survival, so I've really just been pumping more damage. So that's kind of where the build is sitting now. Let me know down below in the comments how good / bad it is, or if you guys think the build is pretty decent. Try it out. It seems really fun, or it seems like you can't really go wrong in this game with builds. Just like try and get a bunch of modifiers all working together and helping you out. And then obviously the gear is also a big point in the gear. How do we get to our gear? We're figuring this stuff out. We're gonna have a look at our stats. I can actually show you guys my damage stats over there. Spell damage 310%. We have fire damage 330%, necrotic 224, and then increased damage over time. We have 440% increased damage over time. So doing a crazy amount of damages. Our resistances are not too terrible. Apparently 75 is the cap. So we're lacking a little bit on fire, cold, and physical, but everything else is pretty decent. We've got almost 1k HP, level 65, so I think we're getting there pretty decently. So far, I haven't really come into anything that just murders me over and over. I may die once or twice here and there, but I haven't come across like something that I just can't beat because I'm just not tanky enough or anything like that. We do a lot of damage with the build, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I see you on the stream after the video. I'd love to see you guys all there. If you liked the video, please drop a like and a sub. It helps me out so much. And I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the